It was the final home game of the season for the Owls seniors, guys who have meant a lot to this program. They were honored with their families. However, 24th ranked Tulane spoiled the occasion, besting the Owls by a 24-8 score. Welcome to Inside the Owls Burrow with the Haggerty family head football coach Tom Herman. I'm Frank Fort. Coach, as we kind of mentioned last week, Tulane, a ranked team, looked like they had a pretty complete team, but despite being down in that game 24-0, there was no give up. You fought them right till the end.
Yeah, I was really proud of the fight. Much different than, maybe even the week prior against East Carolina. We were certainly facing an uphill battle with a team that's, one of the top 25 teams in the country, and very veteran team that has been playing at an elite level for a while. And but our guys fought, they competed. We just didn't execute at the right time, but it did feel different than East Carolina for sure.
Coach Herman's interview brought to you each and every week by Phil Smith Automotive, driving the Owls to victory together in style. Down 14-0 late in the first half, put together a great drive. You had 1st and goal at the 3 and wound up 4 plays, did not get you into the end zone. And as I said to you after the game, I think there's a really small margin for error offensively with this team, and that kind of hurt going into that.
Yeah, I mean, as you could tell, points were at a premium against Tulane and their defense. To get the ball down there and come away with no points, it was a blow. Now, we lost 24-8 too, so there was a lot of other blows, but to have that happen at that point in the game where, a touchdown there breathes a little bit of life, and you're right, we had, played with some rhythm offensively up until that point, and so would have been a nice feather in our cap, certainly, as we continued that game. But again, had we scored there, it would have been great. But had we done that, I don't think anybody knows then how the rest of the game would have unfolded either. 11
more catches for LeJonte Wester, becomes the first Owl to go over 100 catches in a season. But knowing him as I have the past 3 years, losing hurts. He would give back a ton of those catches for a couple more wins.
Probably all of them. He's a competitor. He takes a lot of pride in, wanting to be, one of the guys that gets us back to where we were a few years ago, competing for championships. And so he's as dynamic of a receiver as I've been around. And the cool part about him is just his work ethic at practice and the way he trains and the commitment he has to his craft. And so it's no secret why he produces the way that he does, but to your original point, he would give all of those catches back for a bunch more wins.
We saw the freshman running back Xavier Terrell for the first time. He had 3 touches for 19 yards, which you'll certainly take, and it seemed like he provided a bit of a spark on your scoring drive.
Yeah, I mentioned, we have spent the better part of the season without Zuberi Mobley, and as good and steady of players as Larry and Kobe have been for us. Zuberi was kind of the different back, if you will. He's got a dynamic quality about him. He can make you miss in the open field, and he's got some long speed as well. And so when we lost him, I think that hurt the dynamism in that room a little bit. And Xavier's been having a few really good weeks. He turned some heads on the scout team early in the year, and then when Zuberi went down, we knew we had to bring another guy up to practice with the travel squad on offense, and he's continued to improve and merits those touches because he is a dynamic guy and can make some people miss.
Another freshman who's been seeing some run lately is Fabian Scott. He started at corner, and he's had some baptism under fire the last couple of weeks, which freshman cornerbacks, that's going to happen.
It is. Obviously you want all of your players to play perfect, and Fabo, as we call him, he hasn't, but there's growth, there's maturity, there's learning, there's what could I have done better? I don't think any of the plays that have been made on him or in his area were a lack of athleticism or just being, out physicaled by anybody. So he's got some improvement to go in terms of technique, but we love his length, we love his athletic ability, and he continues to grow. And it's nice to see some freshmen, him, Zeke Moore on the other side of the ball. Freshmen continue to increase their role as the season progresses.
Next, the regular season finale at Rice, 1 p.m. Eastern kickoff. Rice beat Charlotte last week, 28-7. They're 5-6 overall, 3-4 in the league, as we are. Some famous last names on the team. Luke McCaffrey, son of the former NFL receiver Ed McCaffrey, and kind of just like Dad, he's got 11 receiving touchdowns on this season.
Yeah, he's a really good player. JT Daniels, you mentioned, has really sparked their passing offense, and Luke's been doing this around here for a while, and I think he has 100 targets, and the next guy on their list is like 52. So he's a bit of their LaJohntay Wester, if you will, and we're going to have to know where he's at all times, because there's a good chemistry too. You can tell between him and the quarterback.
And on defense, the name Gabe Taylor, if that sounds familiar, the younger brother of the late great Sean Taylor, who I had the pleasure of covering. And last year, their defense was a pretty physical group. Has that changed at all?
No, and it has been a hallmark of Coach Bloomgren wherever he's been, and very physical, complex defense that, Rice is a high academic school, and having coached there, there's some really smart players in that locker room and on that field. So it is a complex defense, but at the end of the day, they'll hit you, and that's the hallmark of a really good defense.
However this final game plays out, as you look toward the offseason, every new job when you take over as a head coach is a bit of a reset in one way, shape, or form. And has this been maybe a little bigger reset than you thought when you started out?
Probably. I oftentimes have had to remind myself, having taken over other jobs, that, as much as this looks and feels like Houston and in the same conference and whatnot, Houston, was coming off of a winning season, and, they were just a couple steps away, and with 3 straight losing seasons, there's a lot to be done, but a lot to look forward to, too, in terms of, having established the foundation of our culture. We've got a lot of areas that we need to improve there, certainly, but that, along with some consistency now for the returning players, and the look on the horizon too for the guys that are returning. We're going to have a lot of starters returning too, but we need to improve our depth. We've got to do that with sheer numbers. We've got to have a heck of a recruiting class, but we've got, now we get our hands on our guys, a full staff, a consistency now that this offseason, the development steps should increase quite a bit.
One piece of news from last week, you have hired Chris Carter, the NFL Hall of Famer, as the Executive Director of Player Engagement. What's your vision for Chris in that role?
Well, kind of the sky's the limit, very open-ended. I think, Chris came and spoke to our team. I found out he was a resident of Boca for the last 30 years and spoke to our team. It was just awe-inspiring, for lack of a better term. And I think he, standing in front of the team, got bit by the bug a little bit too, and we connected even just that night, and we both kind of had the same thought, like, hey, I want you in the building more, not just a guest speaker. But he doesn't affect playing time. He doesn't affect anything other than wanting these young men to be great.
It is that time for Tom Herman's Pop Culture Pop Quiz. We're going movies this week. We'll give you 5 seconds to contemplate, and you will try to name in 25 seconds as many Will Smith movies as you can. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Men in Black 1, Men in Black 2, Men in Black 3, Hitch, Hancock, what was that awful one? Wild Wild West? Will Smith. Oh, Pursuit of Happiness?
Yes.
The one, Mr. King, the King Richard, right? The one where he plays the Williams sisters'
yes.
dad.
Yes. And time.
Okay.
Independence Day.
Oh, how could I have forgotten that one? What a great movie.
Ali.
And another one.
I Am Legend.
I got all those bad ones. Other than bad boys. My gosh.
Coach, have a great trip to Houston. Happy Thanksgiving.
Appreciate you. Go Owls.
Coming up, it's taken a couple of years, but quarterback Michael Johnson has overcome injuries to be an effective part of the Owls' red zone offense. That's straight ahead on Inside the Owls Burrow.
Hey there, South Florida. Jason Graciano from Phil Smith Acura here, and we've got something exciting to share. We're proud to announce our newest partnership with FAU Athletics. Basketball, football, baseball, tennis, you name it, and we're in it together. At Phil Smith Acura, we're all about excellence. Drive an Acura with unmatched performance and support your local FAU team. It's a winning combination. Come on down to Phil Smith Acura or visit us online at philsmithacura.com. Experience excellence on and off the road.
There's something about the power of integrity. That's why we aren't in the business of creating sales.
Go Solar Power, how can I help you?
We're focused on creating value. Call us old-fashioned, but we believe trust isn't just given, it's earned. Go Solar Power, a service experts company.
The FAU MBA Sport Management program really stood out to me because it was in South Florida, it was in an area that I knew, but not only that, it was top in the world, top in the nation, and it was in an area that is really very rich in sports, between professional sports, tournaments, just everything. There's professional athletes that live here. There's really all facets. It was an easy decision for me to make that call to go to FAU because I could get that mix of executive education and that focus in professional sports.
Inside the Owls Burrow is presented by Baptist Health Orthopedic Care, the official sports medicine provider of Florida Atlantic Athletics. By Adidas. By Cedars, no better hummus. By FAU MBA in Sport Management, nationally renowned and ranked number 11 globally. By Phil Smith Acura, driving the Owls to victory together in style. By Sage Dental, the official dental provider of FAU Athletics. Book at mysagedental.com. And by Shiner Law Group, injury lawyers that get you more because you deserve more.
Here we have a really good call by Coach Fry and the offensive staff. Heavy formation set, 2 tight ends, also a wide receiver, Devin Price, attached to the formation. Going to sell the run first to Kobe, then sell the boot, and then delay Khalil all the way to the backside front pylon. Really good route, good throw by D-Ridge.
Welcome back to the show. Quarterback Michael Johnson was originally a 4-star recruit out of high school. Beginning his career at Penn State, he transferred to Florida Atlantic in 2020. Since then, it was a rough go with significant ankle and shoulder injuries. But this season, Johnson has emerged as a sort of secret weapon in the Owls offense. This player profile is brought to you by Shiner Law Group, the injury lawyers that get you more because you deserve more. You've been through so much here at FAU in terms of injuries. You had an ankle injury, you had a shoulder injury. When was your last snap in a live football game before this season?
2019, like a mop-up duty for Penn State. That was the last time, so no action 2020, no action 2021. No, I was hurt 2022, and then this year, thankfully, I was able to get an opportunity. It means a lot, more so that like the coaching staff and my teammates trust me in the role I'm in, and I've been able to excel. And I mean, obviously I couldn't do it without the offensive line or the tight ends blocking for me and the perimeter and the receivers and everything like that. It's like a whole group effort. So I've just been happy to just be able to help in any way I can.
Are you very confident that it's going to succeed every time you try it out there?
I think so. I think with success comes confidence, and I think the more and more we do it, the more and more we succeed at it. So it gives me confidence knowing. Also, it's a lot of trust in that package too. I trust everyone blocking. I trust everyone in that package to do their job, and if I do end up with the ball, I'm able to get the yards I need to get.
What was it like to be in the end zone for the first time, finally, as a college player?
It was cool. Obviously, we weren't winning the game, so it wasn't like too great, but it was definitely a proud moment. I was happy that I was finally able to touch the end zone. But I used to just want to get in there. Then once you get in there once, you want to get in there again, and then it's like you just want more and more.
You've kind of become a Swiss Army knife for this team. You've been on kickoff return, and we saw you as a gunner on punt coverage. How did that come about?
I will say this, I do whatever it is that I'm told. So if Coach Lunsford or Coach Herman or whoever asks me to do this role or do that, I just go and do it to the best of my ability. I'm still learning all those positions, but I guess they trust me and they see something in me to have me do that. So I think I owe it to them to just put my best foot forward and do the best I can at it.
Coming up next, he's gone from walk-on to starter in a matter of weeks. The story of Kalen Skipper is next on Inside the Owls Burrow. We're back on Inside the Owls Burrow. Defensive back Kalen Skipper came to Florida Atlantic in 2018 as a preferred walk-on. He spent the ensuing years as a member of the scout team, playing occasional snaps, for example, earlier this season at the end of the USF and Charlotte games. But more than a few eyebrows were raised when 2 weeks ago, Skipper was moved into the starting lineup. This Owl football feature is brought to you by Sage Dental, official dental provider of FAU Athletics. Book at mysagedental.com. You came here 6 years ago. You've been a walk-on every year. There's probably not many guys that would stick it out that long. Were there ever times where you considered maybe stepping away from football, or did you want to finish this out no matter what?
It's been a long journey, and there's definitely times when you're like, is this worth it? But I just kept going, stuck it out.
Especially 2 years ago, you tore your Achilles. You're going through that rehab, which is a long process.
I took it more of as a motivating thing to get back, because I just looked at it as it was a new challenge to come back from that, and I was just motivated to come back. So it kind of added more fuel to stay instead of more doubt.
Servicing the offense, captain player of the week on defense, Kalen Skipper.
Early this year, you're on the scout team, and it seemed like every other Thursday you were the defensive scout team player of the week. And gradually they put you on the travel squad. Were you sensing that I'm doing the right thing and they're moving me up?
I was just trying to, compete and work as hard as I possibly could, and it ended up working out. You never know what's going to happen, and I just tried to prepare myself and stay ready if I did get the opportunity.
When they told you last week that you were going to start, what was your reaction?
I was nervous in the beginning just because it's a big responsibility, and I didn't want to let down my teammates. So I was just making sure that I would be as ready as possible. It was more so in warm-ups and the beginning of the game. I was kind of taking it in, but once we ran out the tunnel and it was on the field, I was locked in. I knew I had to do my job, so I was ready for that moment.
Keep in mind that Skipper has carried on through 3 coaching staffs, trying to impress each of them enough to stay on the squad.
I just worked hard, and I tried not to think about things like that. I just tried to stay, and I tried to treat everybody how I would want to be treated, and I think that helps with how you're received by new coaches, because new coaches always ask the old coaches how you were. So I just tried to be myself and stay doing what I could do. And then if they didn't want me, it would be whatever it is. I knew what I did, all I could do,
Coming up, he was an Owl linebacker last season, but stepped away from football and is now embarking on a new phase of his career. That story's next on Inside the Owls Burrow.
At Sage Dental, you'll experience a modern, family-friendly approach to dentistry. From From pediatric dentistry and orthodontics to cleanings and oral surgery, we've got the latest technology to provide your family the best dental care all in one place. And for a limited time, get a free new patient exam and x-rays, plus a free ProClean Sonic toothbrush at your first hygiene visit. Book your appointment today at mysagedental.com. Sage Dental. Open up and say awesome.
To win at this game, you have to put in the work, know the game plan, and execute. At Duffy's, our game is always on.
At Delray Hyundai, it's getting hot, and we're not talking about the weather. We are bringing the heat with savings on over 175 new vehicles in stock and ready for you to take home today, with even more on the way. Or lease a 2023 Elantra SE for just $199 per month with 0 down. That's right, 0 down and just $199 per month. Plus financing rates as low as 0% on select 2023 models. That's right, financing rates as low as 0%. Visit Delray Hyundai today or online at delrayhyundai.com.
Once you try Cedar's authentic hummus, you'll understand why people can't stop spreading it. I cannot stop eating this. Dipping it. I am obsessed. And sharing it. Only the good stuff. Cedar's. No better hummus.
We are bringing the heat with savings at Delray Genesis, like a lease on a 2023 G70 for just $329 per month, or financing rates as low as 2.9% on select new 2023 models. Visit Delray Genesis today.
Inside the Owls Burrow is brought to you by Adidas, by Baptist Health Orthopedic Care, the official sports medicine provider of Florida Atlantic Athletics, by Cedar's No Better Hummus, by FAU MBA in Sport Management, helping the sports and entertainment executives of tomorrow, by Phil Smith Kia, by Sage Dental, the official dental provider of FAU Athletics, book at mysagedental.com, and by Shiner Law Group, injury lawyers that get you more because you deserve more. Welcome back to Inside the Owls Burrow. During the 2022 season, linebacker Jaleel McRae made 34 tackles for the Owls, but after the season, he did some soul searching and decided to step away from the game. Head coach Tom Herman decided not to leave McRae's future simply to chance. Here is Jaleel's personal story in Football in Paradise. Football in Paradise is brought to you by Go Solar Power, lowest payment, best equipment, #1 solar installer.
In 2022, I feel like I played well. I feel like I did everything that I wanted to achieve. Like I got my first career interception. I don't have no regrets, you know, coming off of last year, and I don't have no regrets in my football career. When Coach Herman came in back in January, he removed me from the team, and because of some academics standpoint. So I was working out by myself every day. That was a dark time because that was my first time ever having to do that in my college career. One day I woke up, I remember it vividly, it was February 15th. God gave me a message, and he told me to go get a notebook and write down your feelings and just express yourself onto a notepad. And I went up to Coach Herman that day, February 15th, and I let him read. He read what I had down.
So we had just gotten here, and he was lost. He'd been on a couple lists for missing things, late to things, and he had been hurt. And we just said, hey man, this is probably not for you. And he came back into my office and said, Coach, I get it. I'm too hurt to play, but I don't want to walk away from the game. Is there something here that I can earn my keep while I stay on scholarship? And we put him to work in player development. He took to it like a fish to water, and he's helping, coach as a student coach as well. He wears a lot of hats for us, and just so proud of how he's kind of, reinvented himself, kind of turned his life around.
Have the right mindset. Have the right mindset. Left hand. Next play.
Whenever we touch that field, I'm prepared. I'm prepared to go out there and coach and help and do everything that I need to do and soak in so much football that
whenever I do elevate in this profession, I'm gonna be ready to lead my position group.
That's all that matters. Your job. 111. 111. Just do your job.
When I went to go talk to Coach Herman, he told me that he was going to be my mentor because of he didn't have a father, and his coaches, the coaches that brought him up, was his father figure. He's been that ever since I stepped on the other side, and I look up to him every day, you know, and I watch his every move because one day I might have to be in that head coach seat.
Run the show. Run the show. Let's go. 3 rings. Here we go, 43.
I work with player development. I help my boss, Miss Regine Hill, our player development boss. And now I'm transitioning to over there to the linebackers, helping Coach Rock and Coach Helm, you know, whatever they need assistance with out on the field. I'm loving that, and I even help with the signal calling, so that's going to be a big stage for me this year. And everything that I do forward, going forward, you know, I've been prepared for this.
Thanks for watching. I'm Frank Forth. We'll see you next time on Inside the Owls Burrow.
This has been a presentation of Playfly.
Hi, my name is David Shiner, and at Shiner Law Group, you're more than just a number, you're part of our family.
If you become injured, call my dad.
Call me, David Shiner, and let my team of legal professionals help you get what you deserve.
Bicycle accident, call Dave Shiner. Car injury, call my dad. Slip and fall, call my dad. Call my dad.
Car accident, call me. Call Dave Shiner.
The Sport MBA program has a really great curriculum designed to help prepare students for real-world application.
The faculty at FAU really took the time to get to know me and help me get my foot in the door and network with the right people.
Really prepared me for all the challenges of the workplace, whether it's time management, provided me with the educational background. Most importantly, it gave me real-life practical experience.
The program offers you lots of opportunities to experience the fast-paced world of South Florida sports.
We are bringing the heat with savings at Delray Genesis, like a lease on a 2023 G80 for just $479 per month, or financing rates as low as 2.9% on select new 2023 models. Visit Delray Genesis today.
Once you try Cedar's authentic hummus, you'll understand why people can't stop spreading it. I cannot stop eating this. Dipping it. I am obsessed. And sharing it.
Only the good stuff.
Cedar's. No better hummus.
There's something about the power of integrity. That's why we aren't in the business of creating sales.
Go Solar Power, how can I help you?
We're focused on creating value. Call us old-fashioned, but we believe trust isn't just given. It's earned. Go Solar Power, a service experts company.